Hello, hello. Welcome, one and all. Welcome to my stream. I am Paladin Ashe here to stream for you again. And today we're getting back into it with Grim Dawn. Might probably go with a much less chaotic schedule next week because this week I've basically just ended every stream with, I can't remember what I'm streaming tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. But it has kept me from getting bored, so I'll give it that. But anyways, if you can hear me tearing cardboard, well, fucking bag paper, yeah, that's because I ordered dinner and it took forever to get here. It only just arrived, so I'm annoyed. I'll have to be munching that on stream. Ooh, bag fries. Oh, anyways. Okay, there's my straw. Need to actually, cook food for myself. Okay, where was I?
This place is like a dream I can't quite shake off.
That my father made it safely. We were never close, but he's the only family I got left. I don't know how to thank you. Oh, perhaps this. Here, take this potion. My father and I took sips from it along our journey to keep up our strength. I'm sure you'll find it useful.
A race back potion. I can live with that. The Aether Fire was spreading rapidly, so I'm not sure there even is a way to Melmoth anymore. Before you can worry about endless fields of fire, you'll have to make it through the wilderness of Gloomwald and Utenbog. That's not much better. The mushrooms are toxic, some even really caustic pores when you get near. The animals are ruthless, but the cannibals knowing that they were once people makes it so much worse. I never thought I'd have to kill people. Still feel their blood on my hands. Yeah, well, they're cannibals now. They don't count. Where did that go? Oh, there it is. Let's see. 32 and 17 in spirit. Okay. We're all buffed up. Bears down. Who doesn't like poison? So much poison.
Here I am wasting more points.
I mean, what are you going to use the points on otherwise? My redeems are kind of lame. I need to come up with some. I'm doing okay. Oh, shit. Yourself? I personally just finished one of my first requests when it comes to like chatbots. Because I've spent so much time making horny Lion King ones. Somebody was like, can you make a Kovu one? And I'm like, I can. I've you know, like no promises because perchance AI is really imprecise when making characters. I had to whip out Kryta and edit a bunch of them to like look more similar, which is a process I'm getting used to. A new novel release? Or have you just not like read them all? Because I kind of assumed you'd read them all by now, and it's just that a new one released. Ah, fair enough. Reminds me, I need to read up to date on the manga for the Death Mage Doesn't Want a Fourth Try, and also maybe pick up the light novel if I can. That's an isekai where the main character is on a school trip when a terrorist attack takes out his entire class, and then a god of transmigration shows up and is like, hey, want to be reincarnated? You can just like, go on to the next life and whatnot, or you can be reborn immediately in another world where your memory is intact and powers. And one dude's like, no thank you, goes on to like, the next life. But like, the dude starts handing out powers, then calls somebody who has his exact name but is not him, and gives him a lot of powers. And then it's like, oh wait, I gave all of the powers that were meant for you and him to him because I didn't realize that you were there. The main character is phenomenally unlucky. And it's like, I don't want to be reincarnated. And it's like, I'll just give you magic powers and reincarnate you anyway, sorry. And then he gets reincarnated into a shitty world where he's like the son of a whore and her John, and sold as a science experiment, and they proceed to basically experiment on him until they realize he's got like a really broken ass like necromancy ability, and then they augment the shit out of him so he can't control his own body. And then a dude proceeds to like work him into the ground to have a breakthrough about something, which allows him to like resurrect himself. And he goes on a rampage. And it's old, like, his old peers don't recognize him in this world and proceed to kill him. He gets so mad that the god of transmigration's like, well, that sucked. I'm going to put a curse on you so you hopefully die quicker in the next life because, I don't want you ruining things for other people. The god's kind of an asshole, and that's kind of a theme. So the main character wakes up the son of a dark elf, a fucking stacked dark elf. She's got massive gazongas, and also the son of like a vampire. So he's a Dhampir. And he's not even like off weaning by the time he's starting to get a handle on his powers despite all attempts to stop it. And also his mother gets captured by the Inquisition and burned at the stake. It's okay, he sticks her soul into a finger bone and eventually finds a body for her later on down the line. But you can tell this is that kind of like a manga where it's got some like a lot of bitterness to it. Despite that, it's actually really solid. But I haven't read it in years because like it updates glacially. How fuck? I hate this forest. I remember this forest now. It sucks. Yeah, it was interesting. Normally, I fully admit I struggle with like revenge isekais because revenge and villain protagonist isekais because like, I'll say this, it's uncomfortable to watch or read them, but it's also uncomfortable to have a story that kind of seems to justify the character's actions on the back of, well, everybody else is worse. Like, okay, Redo of a Healer I probably wouldn't watch because of that, but also, like, because like I fully acknowledge, yeah, his fucking team was worse. But then you get into shit like Overlord where like the main character is at points really not any better than the world around him. But the story really goes out of its way to try and justify him, even though he is absolutely a villain. And a lot of its fans glaze him to hell and gone in ways they wouldn't say Rudius because he's a sect best. But this is in spite of the fact that the dude's own fucking minions, like, you know, turn like women into fucking like monster seed factories. It's like, okay. And he's okay with this. It's one of the reasons why I do, one sec, opening up a dip for my chicken strips. It's one of the reasons why I'm more appreciative of, say, like, Rise of the Shield Hero, because it doesn't really stay a revenge manga for very long, and it's not really about that. And some people bitch about that, but I'm like, okay, but I can live with the character just having, like, found family and discovering a new life and a new joy in another world when he was really just floating in his original one. Yeah, literally for only one season, maybe 2 seasons, because it takes about that long for her mother to show up and be like, yeah, so maybe you don't leave the kingdom and we don't get screwed. I don't have to deal with all of this bullshit. Yeah, I'll just strip my husband and my eldest daughter of their titles. It's hilarious because, like, that's a really good example of why you shouldn't pay attention to the web novel ever. So, like, with light novels, it goes web novel, so that's like it's borderline fan fiction. It's basically like a teen writing like a story and posting it serialized on a website. I can't remember the website that they posted on, but it's also 90% of why, like, light novels and isekais are named that way, which is because there's not really a synopsis on the website, so people would make the synopsis the actual title. But web novels are like the first draft, and then you see you know, like the light novel adaptation, which is like the redraft of it. And Rise of the Shield Hero is very different in its web novel. One of the reasons for this is that the main character, or sort of like Bitchy, is in the web novel like a fragment of a chaos god. And in a way, it's not really her fault what's going on in her life. She has no control over it. You know, so that's almost kind of sympathetic, right? Light novel, she's not sympathetic. She's just doing it because she likes the drama. She is an awful person, and you should not feel bad for her. Of course, there are people who feel bad for her because she's got fat tits and kind of pretty, but still. And there are people who hate on that series because the main character, like, in a state of desperation, acquired a slave and was like, I need you as my sword. And now she's kind of shipped with him because she grew up really quickly. It's like, y'all will literally like whine about the Thermian argument just to continue being a piece of shit on this sort of thing, won't you? Raccoonkin, and frankly, I find that refreshing. Her model is immaculate. I love her fucking model. I love her character design. Sorry, we're snacking. But yeah, fucking one of the things I hate when it comes to liking isekai is like so many of like the Reddit tier fans are the most vocal, annoying sacks of shit you ever did see. They're like the usual like anti shipper types who throw the biggest bitch fit about fictional characters, but like Den of Caraxes. Oh, okay, I'll go in there. But basically, like, you introduce your friend to Kajinkas and they've gone down a rabbit hole. I mean, it's fun to see how people adapt that sort of thing. Also kind of hot because, like, I've seen so many, like, Kajinkas of various, big beefy men. Or even, like, monstrous inverses of big beefy men. And I'm like, I'm all for this. Feed me. But yeah, like, I can't stand a lot of, like, the Reddit tier fans of Isekai because, like, they have the most smooth-brained takes about everything. Like, okay, they'll glaze to hell and gone Ainz because he's just so awesome and powerful, despite the fact that the dude commits genocide several times and kills a lot of people. And like it has like a way inconsistent thought process, but it's okay. One, because he had to step over dead bodies in his previous life, so he's got like reasons. And also, well, it's better than the world around him, blah blah blah. You know, just like so on. You know, it's just like so frustrating to hear people go on about this sort of shit. And then they'll like make the biggest of excuses for like, or like why it's okay to like hate on literally even the fans of things like fucking Mushoku Tensei. And they'll like make the biggest deal about like fictional depictions of slavery and like the morality of the characters, but like not give a shit about, say, like, as I said, genocide. And also basically be completely useless on the subject of how it is applied in real life. Like, forgive me if I think like the yammerings of fucking some loser on Reddit about slavery who probably owns shoes that were made in a sweatshop, owns clothes that were made in a sweatshop, does not shop ethically on anything. You know, like, sorry that I don't really see anything valid in what you're saying, bitch. I'm not doing your thing. Yeah. Sorry for the sudden silence. I am eating. I don't want to be eating on a hot mic. No, see, they like it when there's racism and the main character is a big anti-racist who gets rid of slavery. Like Skeleton Knight in Another World, love that anime, but it is glazed for the wrong reasons on our isekai, because the guy takes out slavery. And I'm all like, yeah, in a very power fantasy sort of way, because that's not slavery. See, people will talk endlessly about the institution of slavery and then not understand what the fuck that means. An institution is something that is top to bottom, like a society that has laws that protect the slave owner's rights to own a person, and also protects the the trade of individuals through the slave trade. Now, in Skeleton Knight in Another World, the slavery is entirely managed by like 3 nobles and their cronies, and is entirely underground. It is elven trafficking and beastkin trafficking. That is it. It is an illegal slave trade. So he tackled that, and that's fine. But treating it like it's more than it is just somebody being like completely ignorant about it.
Welcome. We hope that you find comfort in this refuge, away from prying eyes or judgment from the uninitiated. I thank you for this offering. The heart of Caraxes shall cause no further harm. Instead, it now shall heal our injury. Now, what is it you need of us? If you seek a path to Malmuth through the swamps, then I am afraid you are out of luck. The roads have all but collapsed, and even if you should somehow find your way out of the bog, the land beyond has been consumed by aether fire. Ancient passageways exist that could take you north, but they are not of this realm, and you will not like where they lead. Now, this friend of yours? What happened? Ulgrim, you say? Oh, it would be a shame to lose such a legend. But if he was claimed by the Void, then... Perhaps this gives me an idea that will solve both your predicaments. But if we are to help with this, then I must ask for something more in return. What you ask will take me some time to prepare. But before I help you, there is something you must do for us. Deep within Ugdungbog, to the north of our refuge, there lies a village by the name of Barrowholm. I need you to travel there. I care not for the village, only for what was stolen. We had crafted an Ugdungbog fetish within the swamp in order to protect ourselves from the wilderness. Recently, someone has tampered with it, tore off the head of the fetish, and ran off with it. I can still sense its waning power within the bog, and the only nearby settlement is Barrowholm. I do not care what you do. We must have it returned to us.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, like, that's kind of my biggest problem with fucking, like, our isekai types is they're mostly only into isekai for, like, an ego stroke about their politics, and that's it. If at any time a character is shown to be okay with slavery or have a harem or something like that, there's, like, a constant, like, clamming up, but I'm like, I don't care. It's fictional and it can't hurt me. And if I don't like it, I'll put it down, but I don't moralize it. We meet again. I must admit, I had some reservations regarding your usual state of mind. Your unusual state of mind, but you've proven to be understanding of human plights, even compassionate. My sisters will breathe easier knowing that you are willing to see past our craft and for the people we are, and I will make sure they hear of it. Do not worry, I will not speak of your origins to others. Even though they endured prejudice in the Empire, they're not entirely freed of themselves. That's humanity for you, I suppose. Wasn't simple at all, I can tell you that. After Melostria's calls became more frequent, I set out east towards the lake, traveled part of the way by boat, but that dinghy thing did not last long in the turbulent waters. Found myself off the coast of Whitemire, nearly drowned. Thankfully, a couple of rovers found me before the slip did. With their help, I recovered quickly and made my way up here. I watch isekai to how they adapt to a new world. I don't care if it's harem, slavery, racism, etc. I don't bitch because it's in it. Yeah. And it's like, it's funny because like the type of people who bitch about it only ever really seem to bitch about its presence if it's done in a fashion that they don't care for. If it's done in a fashion of this, white savior complex McGee coming into another world and like, fixing all of what ails it and being extremely culturally educated and all that, then, oh, they're all for it. But as soon as it's like, oh, there's slavery, let's develop that without this character doing anything about it, suddenly it's a problem. Oh, there's harem. Suddenly it's a problem. Like, okay, one of the reasons I enjoyed Monster Musume, and one of the reasons why I will say I don't generally care for harem, is because, not because it's like lots of bitches all gagging after a dude's dick, and I have nothing to say about, oh, well, like, they would never do that. I don't care. It's a fictional story. I don't need it to be realistic in that way. What I care about is, are the characters actually developed outside of archetypes? Like, half the time they're really not. The redheaded chick is the tsundere. She'll basically, be annoying about things. She'll either be the tsundere or she'll be the borderline yandere. So like Mia, for instance, borders on that a little bit depending on who she's interacting with because she is fiercely protective of Kimihito. But like, the tropes will never really be developed outside of the initial introduction in a lot of isekai. Whereas like Monster Musume is like, let's develop the character, the interactions, and also let's cover the rigors of managing a harem of like 5+ women who are all monstrously strong and could crush the main character if they sneezed. And also fucking eat just like very specifically different diets. Mia's an obligate carnivore. Centauri is an obligate herbivore. Happy can eat whatever and has no taste buds, but somehow can taste Mia's awful cooking. Fucking Sue can eat literally anything, but what she eats influences her, causing her either to grow or become fucking sassy. I can't even remember what Ragnaera ate, but Meru also was like an obligate pescatarian. Matron Melothia has been reaching out across Cairn, calling witches to gather here in relative safety. Once they arrive, their survival becomes my responsibility until they get accustomed to life in Ugdenbog. Most of those that Melothria was able to commune with have arrived, except for a few stragglers. It's been some time, though, and we suspect that something has happened to our future sisters. If you find yourself at Ugdenbog, please look around for them. See if any of them have gotten lost, or worse, captured by the Roman cannibals. Even though they are not yet under my care, I feel a certain responsibility for their well-being. But I cannot simply leave the refuge. If you do this for me, I will see to it that you are aptly rewarded with some of our supplies. All right, yeah, coffee had like a deleterious effect on her, which I want to say is based off of actual like biology. I want to say spiders do basically get like drunk or whatever off of coffee. I don't know. I'd be more than willing to believe it because one, weird biology, two, because fucking Monster Musume was often using biology as the basis for things. Like, you know, Centauria being unable to eat anything but like plant matter literally is just based off the fact that she's got a fucking undulate digestive tract. Actually, not undulate, but like it's still a horse. Or horses? No, I can't remember if horses are undulates or not. What the fuck? Oh. All right. I hit 32. One sec. 32 and max out Hellfire with 1 point into Ember Claw along the way. Right. Yeah, Monster Musume was fun because like it cultivates his whole harem and also gives a reasonable odds for a bunch of the characters. So you're kind of playing the waifu bowl the whole time. You're like, who the fuck's gonna win? Personally, I think it's gonna marry them all, but you know, that's just me. When Monster Musume came out and there was so many people who were throwing bitch fits on fucking like on Tumblr. I was in my Tumblr era at the time, and like I remember one person who was like so pissy because like Rhaenyra was a thing and people were like, oh yeah, Rhaenyra, and she's like, why is everybody putting this on my dash? You know, and because she does have a human ass that's kind of just grafted to the spider front. And it's like, okay, why are you bitching? It's a harem series. Of course the women are going to be hot. But you got to get into it for the biology lessons. Yeah. Still find it hilarious how like he gets to the end of the season. I almost worded it like first season when like there isn't any other seasons, alas. But anyways, gets to the end of it. He's gone through such hell to try and put food on the table, and then the director shows up and has like all of her bitches in tow, and they're eating all of his food, and she's like, "What? What's wrong? Why are you looking at me like that?" And Sue, who's just been fed actual garbage food, proceeds to respond. He's upset because he's struggling to make ends meet, and then a bunch of freeloaders came and ate all of his food. And she's like, darling, I thought you knew that you could, you know, write it off on your taxes and get paid from the government. I need to read the manga. Like, initially I made an attempt, but the problem is that I did so too soon after watching the anime. And I have this habit, this rather annoying habit, but I've never broken of it. It's quite literally, if I watch an anime or read a manga and then like go to the other, I end up trying to experience the whole story as it was portrayed in that medium, even though I know that I'm seeing most of the story. I've seen most of the story already. And sometimes I get through it just fine. Sometimes I get bored because I've seen the story already. But the thing is, like, manga and anime adapt things way differently. Like, in Apothecary Diaries, there's this bit towards the end of the first season where the main character takes a really bad injury protecting somebody. And in the manga, she just wakes up in that dude's house. In the anime, the main Jinchi proceeds to quietly freeze up, pick her fucking unconscious body up, and walk her out of the entire place, while literally everybody he passes by is bowing down to him. And it's like, it's basically like a scene you do not see in the manga. And it's done so fucking well. Another good example, you know, one near and dear to your heart, is like the differences between the adaptation of the first season of Goblin Slayer and fucking you know, like the manga. Personally, I stand by the sentiment that the manga adapts it, or sorry, not the manga. The anime adapts it a bit better than the manga, because of just how the placement of the events goes. Like, it feels like the, you know, defense against the goblin arc in the farm really is like a good, like, wrapper of the first season. Whereas, like, the Watertown arc is, it's a good arc, but it, like, sort of that bit towards the very end when, like, he's talking with the Shield Maiden, or the sword maiden, and she's like, will you help me? And he's like, no, but if you ever need my help, call to me and I'll come. And she's like, even in my dreams? Yes, even then. And then he does. Literally, she's like, yeah, so strangely enough, my dreams have been very peaceful as of late.
Come see what's left of my wares.
Sell that. Sell that. No. Sell. 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 The manga from Monmusu, my favorite thing is when Darling is hanging out with Zombina. She drags Darling to help on a mission to look for a person who keeps sneaking into the country. And keeps sneaking into the country, and that person is another person in her species. The reason her friend is there is because of one thing. Her friend and Zombina are both Joshis, and they drag Darling to the convention her friend was going to. Okay, see, as much as like isekai has a tendency to overglaze Japanese cuisine, I do like that when characters are like, I like things from country culture, and like are just like obsessive about it. I don't know, it's kind of like a grounding nature to it. That's a good weapon, but I really need a replacement weapon soon. I really do. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I feel like Vigorous Badge of Caged Souls is not as good. Going to be honest, I would chill with Zombina. I feel like she would enjoy a Gundam. I could see it. I mean, let's be honest. A Fujoshi seeing the dichotomy between Char and Amuro Ray, especially in Char's counterattack, where they're literally getting into a fist fight on the grounds of a colony. I mean, I'm not saying it's shippable, but I'm not saying it's shippable. Though I still like that meme where he's like, he's doing the whole fucking Chris Redfield thing. You know, Amuro, you gotta impregnate Sayla's womb. You gotta continue the Daikun line. Wing is easy. That one was literally sold on the fucking Fujo. Like, the characters by the end are a team of sorts, except for Wu Fei. He literally, what did he even do? But like, by the end, the characters, they're kind of friends. The actual advertisement material paired them off a lot. And Wing was absolutely sold on Fujo baiting. It's honestly funny, but it's like, yeah, like, as somebody who grew up with it, who had a sister who got into it for exactly that reason, I'm not even sure if she really watched the anime. I think she might have, but I think she mostly consumed the porn. Okay, so no, this would not be an upgrade. Neither would this be. Nope. Nope. No. No. Maybe. Soul Harvest. What is Soul Harvest?
Well spent.
Okay. Not useful to me.
Amuro, you have to continue the Daikun bloodline. You have to deposit your semen on Artesia's womb. The lineage must go on. I'm telling you to bang my sister, Amuro.
That's not going to be useful. That's not going to be useful. That is not remotely an upgrade except for the armor. It's a drop in damage and resistances. Yeah, get rid. Get rid. That's the upgrade. I need to hit level 50. Don't need that. Don't need that. Actually, this one could be a good one. So I'm going to replace Decaying Gold Band of Soul Warding with this. That is so many levels far removed from me and not useful. Not useful. That will not replace these leggings, I don't think. Wait, the ether damage. That will replace it. Okay, I'll hold on to that. I won't hold on to that. I won't hold on to that. This will absolutely replace that in just a couple of levels. One level, actually. And this will not replace that. Oh my god. Too many tabs. I wish I could have these all open at once. Delete. 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 Bruh. That's a huge upgrade and I still can't accept it. Plague Inc. I think I watched it a few times years ago. You mean on stream? That would probably be fun. Actually, I don't think I own it. I played probably some like free variant of it.
See you around. I'll give you a good price on what I've got left. See you around.
I seem to remember when the Division 1 was coming out, they had like a sort of like a free, like entirely on the you know, a web browser version of Plague Inc. or something like that. Because the entire plot of the Division is that a dude basically released a plague that seemed like the flu in terms of symptoms, but way worse, and killed a lot of people on basically like money right before the Christmas rush in New York. So it became known as the dollar flu. With my attention turned elsewhere, I must turn to another to cleanse of one sacred place. I hope that you are capable of the task. The savage wilderness of the ancient grove is dear to me, but with the recent calamity, it has become corrupted by the very forces you battle against. Ethereal and chthonic taint now threatens to overwhelm the fragile ecosystem within and spill forth into the surrounding environment. Deep within the grove, in the heart of the forest, a once proud guardian has fallen into the infestation and should it escape. Sometimes I appreciate you, Nightbot. Sometimes. So I'm sure Saribot got that. It seems to be on top of things. Holy shit, holy shit. Fuck you. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Ah! I'm still very much Squeenix needs to earn me back, but some of the proposed shit seems interesting. Yeah. At least you can know, Iggy, that because it's on a reflection, and because Wooklamat is a world leader and not one of the scions of the Seventh Dawn, she ain't coming with us. I hate this place. I'm enthused by all that, though. Holy shit, holy shit.
Skill's not ready.
The whole Final Fantasy 14 reveal stuff, to clarify, you know, I'm enthused by it. I'm curious what the 2 new classes will be. Because technically we already have gun tank. We already have gun ranged fizz. So is it artillery ranged fizz? Gun shield tank? Are we finally going to get to wear that awesome Garlemald cheek? Their helmets were so cool. Fucking Gaius was definitely a character who, as soon as he took off the helmet, immediately lost like 90% of his riz. Like, okay. You know, there are plenty of handsome men out there. So, like, this is not me secretly being like, I don't know, weird or something like that. It's just that, like, once you put a helmet on a dude, it adds a hint of mystery to the face. The mind fills in all the things. And also, helmets mean that a guy's got to, like, in animation, emote in other ways. A lot more, like, gesticulate-y. You know, they take up more space. They impose more. As soon as they take it off, like, you know, suddenly they get to be a slouch in how they interact. Oh yeah, the things on the little horns. Yeah, I don't know what those were for. Probably purely aesthetic choice. Ah, 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 ah. Holy shit, ow! Oh, the unskippable cutscenes of Frey. Vinylton? Sorry, dude. You can't use anything you're selling, so. One guy responded how they played the game for 1,000 hours yet and never noticed that. I noticed that, but I never really thought much of them, only that they are there. Unrelated, watch the birth rate in 9 months now that Pregnata is activating ovaries. Lamau. Okay, I gotta get away from that. That goes nowheres. I don't know why I was trying to stick to it. Also, I'm already seeing some hilarious mods for that. Like somebody basically like modding him to look like a fucking like black dwarf dude. Just for the shits and gigs, mind you. No other reason. Ah. No way, poison. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Ah, holy shit. Holy shit. Fuck you. Okay, have fun with that. Bruh. This fucking place.
I can't do that.
Oh, it's killing me. It's killing me. It's killing me. I hate this place. I hate poison swamps. Ugh. Are you kidding me? I go to close my curtains and the game proceeds to attack me. Ow! What is attacking me? Fuck you. Holy shit! Ow! Screw you! Can y'all pick a damage type other than poison? My God. I feel like, yeah, it's gonna be the Wraithbound Diamond. That one needs 359. Leave. Okay, now it's level 50 now. That approach is similarly powerful, but I'll hold off until I've gotten to a safe place. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. I hate how this I fully acknowledge I tend to prefer when like, you know, games from this perspective give me the option to like, I don't know, WASD around rather than like, you know, point and click, because I have to like, why is that chasing me? It fucking is. Go away! Get out of my way! Fine, I'll go around. Fucking cum dumpster. What in the witch of Isilith? Whoa!
Have you come to pay your respects, mortal?
Thanks, I guess. Follow me, I shall. With the loyal service of the Rawari who follow me, I shall try to give this world a chance to endure the coming darkness. Many will not survive the perilous task before them, but such the cycle of nature, that some must die to secure the future for their offspring. What of the rest of us? The suffering of your people has only begun. It may not be fair, but such is the way of things. Even we gods are caught within eternal cycles of creation and destruction. Best not to fuck with a god. That was some fucking training in waiting clothes. Gohan? He wasn't even on the list. He wasn't even invited. Yamcha's on the list. Wait, I'm on the list? What halftime entertainment? You know what? I'm just happy to be included. Did I like kill that thing by accident? Like, come back and it's gone. Krypton. I mean, okay, but like, would you really be an Englishman if you weren't a little bit drunk? Honestly, that's true of anybody who lived in the UK, though. Well, I'm heading towards Monmouth right now, so that's the initial expansion. I've actually, in previous plays of this game, done that expansion, but I haven't gotten to the Forgotten Gods, well, expansion yet. I know I could just go to it, but I'm doing things in order. I've actually never done the Forgotten Gods expansion, mind you, because like the first time I played this game, I got to the initial expansion content and something distracted me. So I started a new character, got to through Monmouth, and then like not long after that, was like able to complete it. But then fucking like got to like Forgotten Gods and just like, I'm putting this down. Oh, that's a lot of dudes. Wendigos, Wendigoons. My Reaper Nightblade Necromancer, my only purple of this shield, which is an offhand weapon. Ah, what just happened? Something caused like both OBS in the game to kind of like minimize. And this game does not play in the background, so if you notice the game kind of just freeze up, that is why. It's not crashing, it's just not rendering. Yeah, I remember this place now. This place sucked. It sucks fat donkey balls. An entire swamp of cannibals and poison users. Who doesn't love that? Where the traveling witch is at? Ow.
I don't know who you are, but please leave.
Ow. Well, at least I know this is there. Phew. Well, please, you have to get us out of here before those things come back. I've been looking for you. The coven sent me. The three, someone came. These fiends set up traps for us like we were animals. They appeared to be eating people. This cage was tighter before you got here. I can open a rift and send you to the refuge. Please, whatever it takes. Here you go. Ah, poison. Why does everything have to put poison on the ground?
My inventory.
Oh my god. My inventory is full. My inventory is full. Yeah, I got that.
See anything you like?
Let's see. That's a gun. I don't play that shit. That's a mace. That's some random nonsense. What I need is another one of these that converts ether to ether damage. Don't need you. don't need you, and can't equip you anyways. Be gone. Be gone. Be gone. Be gone. Let's see. Nope. 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 Holding on to for 4 levels. This is not a replacement. No, 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 no. Ba 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 ba. That might be a replacement. No, unfortunately. No. Yeah, holding on to that. That will not replace it. Wait, no. A little bit more physique and I can equip this. 1 level. No, that would not be an upgrade. Oh, wait. That is an upgrade. Or, Or that's roughly about par. I don't think that's... Let's see. You know what? Yeah, I think that's an upgrade. It's roughly about similar. Improves health. Ether damage is a drop off, but it increases all damage for my pets by 14% in general. Don't. No. 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 Ah, pity. Having a higher honey that Having a higher cunning would benefit me there, but I don't have higher cunning, and that is a two-handed weapon anyway, so no thank you. No. 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 Sell that.
Iron well spent.
I can't do that yet.
Madness, it cannot be. A living thing I sense, and yet being so long, so long. How can I know what is real and what is not if I cannot feel? Leave me, lest I grow tired of this torture. Are you trapped here? Where did we set free? What a forlorn dream. Bound to these stones for eternity, I will find no rest in the great dark beyond. But you, if you are real, you're not as I am. You can leave. You can touch. You can fight. Please, mortal, with a powerful enough soul as a vector, I may be able to pierce through the veil. Bring me the twisted spirit of the most ancient and... I actually have a window that's... In all the centuries, I never thought I would leave this. I just have a fucking window spirit on me. In all the centuries, I never thought I would leave this place, forever bound to these stones. And thank you, seeing through the madness and giving me a chance at peace. I offer you this strange text of thanks. I know not the words, but they seem bound to the enemies with which you battle. Farewell, human. Ethereal missive. Ethereal missive, where are you? I would love that. Literally love that trope. Oh, you've already got thing, eh? Shit. I like being that weird fucking cryptid who shows up with like ancient relic number 5,000 and I'm like, oh, I've got like 50 of those. It's like that fucking skit that one like dude reads out for like D&D stuff. I need you to do something for me, but I also need you to not ask any questions. All right? If so long as you ask no questions yourself. Okay, I need a human skull. Pulls out a a series of pristine human skulls. Take your pick.
That skill's not ready.
Look, we don't want any troublemakers around here. I have no intentions, but I'll keep an eye on you. You do that.
Come see what's left of my wares. Put it to good use.
Welcome, traveler. I hope the day finds you great fortune. Do stay for a bit. Oh, cutting right through the formalities then. And if it so happens that we have in our possession this thing you see, why should we just hand it over? I'm afraid if you want something from us, why do you? Oh, but frankly, it comes down to reality. We live in a cruel world where many simply take what they want without any consideration for others. I see this as an opportunity for us to work. I'm glad you agree. It's true, we do have this one, and it can be yours in exchange for some trivial assistance. The things I'm sure you will have no trouble undertaking.
Okay. Your bitch ass. It's too bad Scorb said you were to be left alive. You look like you could at least put up a fight before I gutted you. You'd certainly try. Six warding totems that have been crafted by a shaman many years ago. We owe 3 of them have recently. And this bitch.
A blessed welcome, traveler.
Around these parts are rare. Please do seek out the camps of these bloodthirsts. Sure, I'll rescue them. So yeah, this is the village of cannibals. Like, just gonna full on say that right now. This is the village of cannibals. You're not thou musted into this. You can just basically take the thing if memory serves. But you can also work with them and build faction with them. Doop to do. The sun and its creeping shit across the sky. Ugh. You're looking at the weather outlook for my state, or for your state, and it looks like God is smiting you state down on Monday and Tuesday. Gonna be hot or gonna be wet? Gonna be moist. Thunderstorms is such a rare occurrence where I live that, like, I honestly am not bothered by them too terribly much. I kind of like the whole, you know, being able to be inside and just hear the patter of the rain against the ceiling. Of course, you know, the possible power outages are never fun, but still. Do. That reminds me. One sec, real quick. Don't forget to log in to FGO and get your daily thing. Okay, there we go.
Skill's not ready.
Do. Da 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 da. Mm-hmm. Fuck. blood punish that awaits us, but Score will not let me leave the village unguarded. Old mind. Already dealt with the past. Really? You're quite the eager butcher. I like that. Here are the materials.
A blessed welcome, traveler.
I am so pleased. I am thoroughly pleased to hear that you've been mingling among our people and finding a place for yourself in our little society. Yes, our protector, our guiding star through the tumultuous chaos. Once we were lost and dying. The bog threatened. You describe the uglier side of things, yes, but do not take the flesh-crazed as representation of the great.
I'm gonna stop you.
Words you've restored for us, or the flesh you've hand-delivered. I'm pleased to hear it. We've always had tense relations with the nearby gathering of witches, but so long as we stayed to our sides of the bog, we generally had no issues. In many ways, we are just as much outcasts as they are. And so we've had somewhat of a mutual... I am thoroughly pleased to hear that... Yes, our protect... You describe the uglier... After the wards you've... I am thoroughly pleased to hear that you've been... Yes, our... You describe the uglier side of things. We've always had tense relations...
Fine. I hate these fucking houses sometimes. She's ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ah! Every fucking square inch of this forest feels like an ambush. There's her den.
I don't know who you are, but please leave.
Okay.
That's locked.
Well,
You've returned. You chose to negotiate with the thieves. That is your business. All that matters is that the fetish is back in our hands. Now, for our end of the deal. In now forgotten times, our kind used to travel to Ugdenbog in order to perform dark bindings at the altar of Ratosh. The altar has not seen use in decades, and now lies forgotten on the northern edge of the bog. However, it is a place where the veil between realities is at its thinnest. The altar of Ratosh is a rare place in Cairn where one can pierce the veil. I've marked Ulgrim's keepsake with the runes of seeking. Place it upon the altar and a way into the void should be revealed. Whether you find your friend alive on the other side, or just his tainted bones, that I do not know. But the void may offer you more than just salvation for Ulgrim. Once it had served as a means of traversing great distances, not always with predictable results. If the cult of Cthon had opened rifts near Malmouth, then perhaps you can use the void as a tunnel. While I cannot promise you success, it is perhaps your only chance of bringing back Ulgrim and reaching Malmouth. Seek out the altar of Ratosh in the northern reaches of Ugden, beyond Barrowhole. I wish you luck. That is a tale steeped in myths and legends. But I suppose we learned the hard way to steer clear of the dark promises of that altar. No sister dares approach it. You may not like what I offer, but I assure you that now that you have what you came for, I was wondering if ever since the Ugdenbog fetish was stolen from us, our wards have weakened and some of our protective spells have even failed us. Put it simply, we are exposed out here. Yes, perfect. You continue to be a service to the Coven, for which we thank you. Deep beneath Ugdenbog, a vast network of caverns and roots traverses the entire region. We call it the Undergrowth. Centuries ago, a single seed sprouted roots within those caverns. It grew to become a massive creature known as Silvaria. She has become twisted and rotten after all these years.
let's see. Okay. Now that I've got that, I don't suspect I'll level again before I end up having to hang up the stream, but let's double check. From 50 onward, we only get 2 points per level, so our progress slows down. With that said, take 1 point in Curse Frailty, Bonds of Bismeal, and Bloodpox, and then 10 points in Vulnerability. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Oh, he's over there.
Have you dealt with that pest yet? The time for deceptions is over. Today, we gather to honor the great Wendigo spirit. And so you did then. A Ravager will be interested to hear of this. While the Ethereals and Chthonians, the time for deception. While the Ethereals and Chthonians are both our enemies, none discuss the Great One as the Chthonians do. Slaughter them by the hundreds, and you shall earn the favor of all of our efforts, all of our
All right. Wasn't I already in here? I was. Oh, fuck off. Where is this? Probably in that space? That place where I haven't completely cleared out the area? Where is this? Grim Dawn, Bilvaria. Oh joy. So in other words, it can be anywhere as in... Okay. I have a 33% chance of finding it in any one of these spaces. In theory. I don't know the background math, but, you know, in theory. Assuming true randomosity, which you will not find with programming. Not here. There it is. Go away.
Can't do that yet.
I do believe that's the very last thing I have to do in Oakton Bog.
You found the undergrowth and dealt good. Perhaps in time, new plant life will sprout from her remains that brings a healthy balance to the ecosystem. Our matron, Malostria, will be pleased to hear this news. In fact, she has been in... You will find her below us, at the center of the refuge. She is usually tending to the ritual circle we will need to restore our wards.
Goradia speaks of your accomplishments as if they are meant to impress me. Tell me, young one, are you prepared? At least you are determined. Very well. One of our own has become tainted by the false promises of the Wendigo spirit Ravager. She has lost her way.
I've already dealt with this traitor.
A witch as powerful. It appears Goradia was right about you. Here, a little... Yes, I'm beginning to see your purpose in our coven. You will be the catalyst not far from the refuge, within Ugdenborg itself. The coven had prepared 3 ritual sites in order to focus our energies toward the focal point, the rune circle you see before me. With the destruction of the fetish, the circles have become unstable, turning into unintentional spirit.
Okay, where are these runes? Let's, for the sake of simplicity, power of the circle. Okay. I appreciate that in this map they are fucking within spitting distance. Lamau.
Have you heard? Good. I can already feel power gathering within the ritual as much as you have done here. I'm not sure I can entrust you with overseeing the final stages. This is...
Okay, well. That just means I don't have to deal with you anymore. We can finally get out of this cesspit. This fucking hellhole. This absolute fucking swamp. Tip to two. These fuckers remind me of the shit from Dishonored. Specifically, Death of the Outsider. Oh shit. Oh, whatever, I'll get that chest. Even more voidy and awful. This isn't just regular darkness. This is advanced darkness. Reminding me of Diablo 3 when you start going into like, I forget what it was, like the Plane of Torment or something like that. You gotta wonder though, what was the purpose of like the demons and the angels and their forever blood war and in like in absentia of mortal kind? Was that supposed to be a boss? I'm always reminded of like, okay, so this is like one game out there. It's slightly a hentai game. It's called Princess Maker. It's a series, but I think I played Princess Maker 3. Or might have been the first. Anyways, it got a remake on Steam. It's about raising up a girl to be a good girl. But the reason why it's kind of slightly a hentai game is you can slightly wind up have her being like the concubine of the king, or the fucking you know, the queen of the damned, or something like that. Oh, and if you get a really bad ending, they just kind of be like the god in the sky who gives you this child proceeds to be like, oh, that's awful. How dare you? Yo. But anyways, if you train her up with magic or combat, eventually she'll get a rival at like, you know, this special competition that happens yearly. And when you go there and fight through it, like the initial people she's fighting, you know, she'll like plow through them and be like, sorry, but I'm not here for you.
Is that you, Mother? I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I won't make it to dinner. As you command. My Emperor, your son, lives. I made certain of it. He is safe in a secure location, of which only I know. Wait, my mind is clearing of some haze. You're not the Emperor, Ulgrim. I haven't gone by that name in so many years. How Burwitch? There's nobody living left in Burwitch. You must be another memory, haunting me in my nightmares. Be gone. Yes, I think I remember now. The void. It clouds my mind. Fills my every waking thought with horrors beyond imagination. But if you're here too, how will we get out? To Malmouth. Last I passed through there, it had fallen to the Ethereals, and it wasn't a pretty sight. But if you need to get there, then there must be a good reason. Though I can't say I understand why you risked coming for me, if that's the priority. Not that I don't appreciate it.
Cut off by the Aether Fire. The only way is through the void.
Then the only way forward is deeper. I'm afraid I'm thoroughly spent and won't be much use to you in a fight. If we're going to get out...
Oh, those things look like they'll give it a suck. Suck the skin right off your dick. Mm-hmm. I stand by what I said earlier about fucking, conquest. Oh, God. Oh, God. How am I still alive?
It's good to see the sun again. And I have you to thank for it. You're right, of course. But you have to fill me in. Why are you trying to get into ethereal territory? Oh, great. While the unpleasantness and the void is behind us, it seems we're stepping right into another. This area has changed since I've last seen it. To the north is Malmouth. Of that, I am sure. But it seems we're not the only ones with sights set up on the fallen city. What remains of the cult of Cthulhu is thick here, battling with our mutual enemy for control over the city outskirts. I'm afraid I see no choice but to wade into that battlefield and carve a path to the city gates. With the ethereals entrenched here, I am certain there's another rift gate around.
Okay, well, that's a rift gate that I can port to, and we're about at time. So knowing that I will not be able to make it much further, I'm gonna see about finding somebody to raid on. Let's go with raid Bay M14. The anthropomorphic M14. They're pretty based. Okay, so I'm reasonably sure we're doing Helldivers tomorrow. I'm not quite sure. Bo hasn't been quite clear on that, but it's whatever it will be. Anyways, thank you for tuning in for my stream. I appreciate your viewership. To those who are new, if you haven't, I'd like it if you dropped me a follow, but I don't demand it. I don't demand a sub either. I'm always free. I'll never be that person who's just like, oh, you can't give me $5. Fuck that. Anyways, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. You have yourself a good evening. I hope you enjoy Bay M14. Ciao.